And you need all of those aspects working really hard with each other and in a succinct way to actually see results.
Hi there and welcome to From Ideas Results. I'm joined by Holly from our content and digital PR team here at Sleeping Giant Media, and we're diving into a topic around not necessarily the latest things that are happening, but a bit of a recap of digital PR in the age of AI search, which again is not unaffected. It's another area that's been sort of quite impacted by AI itself. So could you just give us an introduction almost to how sort of digital PR in the age of AI search works?
Yeah, so I think compared to historically, people think digital PR, they automatically think of traditional PR, so both have a place. But what we talk about in terms of digital PR is where it sits within the geo search area. So that is joined with SEO, with content and digital PR. So it's like a trifecta which you need to achieve. And you need all of those aspects working really hard with each other and in a succinct way to actually see results. So you should never silo digital PR away from what your other efforts, and it all ties back to each other.
And specifically in digital PR, what is different in terms of how it's sort of approached? You mentioned traditional PR there. What do we now have to do more of in digital PR than we were doing, say, 12 months, 24 months ago?
Yeah, so it's more about actually what your end users want to hear versus what you want to be talking about. So historically, you'll be sending out press releases and it'll be about, a latest product you have or something that you feel you want to be talking about as a brand. Whereas now it has totally changed into user intent search phrases are massively key with a digital PR. So actually it's understanding what are those key drivers and wants and needs of the audience and tapping straight into that from the get-go, from idea all the way through to content creation and external outreach with the media, because ultimately that is both what your end users are searching for and it's how the media have started to change.
And is that also because the authority and that sort of, if you focus on that, you'll have that content on your site, but you also have it on another third party that helps to then increase the entity value or the content value in itself?
So it basically powers everything up. So it's an additional element within that sort of trifecta that we spoke about. And it solidifies it. So obviously from an AI search engine point of view, they can see what you're doing on your website. They can see what you're doing externally as well. So it also has to marry up. You can't be saying X on your website and be talking about Y in the media because it won't connect the dots. So again, it's about being consistent.
If he did this well, what impact does it have? What's the sort of the end game? What are we trying to achieve here?
The end game realistically is that you will be surfacing in AI searches both from an owned content point of view. So I'm talking about the right hand side here. So the owned content point of view, and also then an external validation as well. So what that shows from the end user is that it's that one touch point that we've spoken about. So when they are searching, they've got two aspects that are going to be featuring. So they're like, okay, well, I can find out more information from them. But ultimately, realistically in the media where you have your top 10 products for home security, for example, you want to be featuring amongst those as well.
And in terms of what needs to change as a result, you touched upon we should now focus on the user's query rather than maybe promoting something that you wanted to promote. How do you go about that? What's the process changes in order to achieve that?
Yeah, so it's like starting from scratch. Obviously, we talk a lot here about brand entity work with our SEO team. So again, it's laddering up to those as well. So you have your core entity that you want to be focusing on, and then those sub-entities to build it out. Now, your on-site optimization and then your content will probably focus on the core entities, and maybe content-wise, you'll be a little bit on your sub-entities, but with digital PR, you'll more naturally sit within those sub-entity sectors because that means that you're reaching a wider audience. So they might already be a customer of yours. They will be able to see and engage with your content. So it's from an external point of view.
And you touched on sub-entities there. Can you explain a little bit what they are and how they work in relation to that master?
So an example is you have insurance as your core entity, but you can have other entities where you have home insurance, car insurance, travel insurance, and then you have subsectors of that. So if you're going down the travel insurance, you'll have ski insurance, you'll have short break insurance, you'll have long holiday insurance, you might have cruise insurance. There's all those different subsections that you could be talking about and providing those user intent question responses for. So like, what insurance do I need if I'm going on a cruise? Answering like that, and then it ladders all the way back up. So it helps support and power up your core entity work.
What impact does that have in terms of how are you trying to develop those sub-entities in order to get people to the site, as that were? I said to the site, I mean, appear in AI overviews.
Well, it's all there. With that, it is all about focusing in on a small handful and then really doubling down on those. I think one of the biggest mistakes that people are currently trying to make in the world of AI search is they're trying to be everywhere at all times. And actually that doesn't really work work, because from the search engine point of view, it can get confusing. From the end user point of view, that content, so whether you're in a different articles and stuff from a digital PR point of view, it might not be focused enough. So then when you've got that customer journey, it's not going to match up. So realistically, it's about having a handful to focus on of those core entities, and then really doubling down on those sub entities as well. And then repeating, going back again, updating your information. So as well with the digital PR life cycle, it's a lot quicker and faster than traditional PR. Realistically, you need to be constantly looking and addressing how you can still be relevant. Again, looking at those user intent questions and making sure that your outreach is matching what currently is being asked, because things change. You know, we see the news agenda. I mean, it's rapid now, and it all ladders back to that.
Okay, so looking now at kind of the measurement piece of digital PR, because we talk a lot about how measurement has changed dramatically. How do you measure digital PR? What does a good campaign look like?
It is about looking at your wider marketing metrics as well. So again, going back to not looking at digital PR as a silo factor, it's actually part of your wider mix. It's really important to look at what you're trying to achieve from an SEO, a content side of things, and then also digital PR. So it's as a whole, like, what are your business marketing goals, and laddering to those. There are some metrics that you have for digital PR that would work across all of them, and what we're seeing as well, because of the way that the AI search ecosystem is changing, it's very hard to divide off. So you're like, oh, well, that one article did exactly that. It's actually powering the whole system. But you could be looking at brand sentiment, because that's really important, because also when you're looking at AI search results, often it will tie in sentiment based on, you know, reviews that have happened as well. So it's really important to start tracking and measuring that, because you have zero control over reviews, but you do have control over your digital PR and what you're putting out there. Looking at reach, which is still quite important for a lot of brands, particularly if you're in the B2C space and you're looking for some great growth. And then also you can kind of look in terms of where you're appearing for specific search phrases as well. So you can actually track to see how you're doing with that. And what we have seen with clients is that there's certain phrases around particular product launches that they really wanted to feature highly for. And actually with our campaigns, we've actually been able to achieve that, which is fantastic.
Amazing. Well, that is it from us. But if you found that useful, do check out our website and our social. We've got loads more information around how you can optimize in the world of AI. We'll see you again next time.